Welcome to another episode of Eat, Smoke, Drink. Today I'm going to review the Douglas Laing Old and Rare Platinum Collection. Today it's going to be the 30-year-old 30-year-old Caol Ila, my mistake. 30-year-old Caol Ila and a 25-year-old Caol Ila. So I'm doing a side-by-side today so I can highlight the difference between the two same distilleries, technically, two same distilleries, about 5 years apart, and kind of tell you about the differences in that. Now look, and look, you saw from the photos, but look at the presentation. It's just absolutely insane. Look at that fluffy box wall. Look at that wooden box, latches, absolute insanity. And look at this one, like, this is crazy. Lacquer. Look at that latch. It's like, that's better quality than most jewelry boxes you get, It's absolutely amazing. Wax, covered in wax on the top. The presentation is just absolutely immaculate. Absolutely immaculate. But anyway, let's get nosing. Let's start with a 25, and then let's go to the 30 and see what the fundamental differences are and see how we go. Hazard a guess, it would be a bourbon cask. I'm getting the peat. I'm getting a slight faint smell of rubber, not too overpowering. A little bit of rubber, a little bit of smoke. I'm definitely getting a lot of salinity with that. I'm getting apricots. I'm getting apricot yogurt, actually, like a sickly sweet, almost an overripe fruit. When the fruit's just borderline on kind of being a little bit too ripe, a little bit rotting, to just that ripe, sickly sweet coconut and vanilla. But the smoke is very faint. The smoke is exceptionally faint, not too robust. You can tell it's an Islay, but just, like you can tell, Islay, or it could be another peated whiskey. Very, very soft. I'm getting a faint hint of leather, some minerality in there, wet stones. I'm getting a slight hint of citrus. And spice. I'm thinking aniseed. A very, very faint smell of aniseed. Now, when it comes to Islay whiskies and peated whiskies, peat does become more mellow and subside with age. This is one of the older Islay whiskies I've reviewed, and I can tell that from the nose, the peat definitely has mellowed out over the 2.5 decades that it's been around. Definitely mellowed. But let's go to the 30-year-old. See, that's even more crazy. On the 30-year-old, I'm getting hardly any peat in there. In fact, if I was to tell you that is an Islay whiskey from the nose alone, you'd argue that it wasn't. I'm getting honeysuckle, honey, caramel, sugar syrup, butterscotch, plum jam, condensed berries, slight floral smell, some awesome wood contact there. I'm getting that vanillin, but there is an astonishing nose that's coming out of there. Wow. I'm getting that almost like a fermented wood. I can't explain it. Almost fermented wood. I get that from whiskies that are kind of, 25 plus, 27 plus. I'm getting that there, but peat, I'm struggling to get peat out of that. If I had to think hard, I'd get more soot, I'd get more candle burning, a hint of paraffin, but peat, I'm not getting much peat at all. Smoke, a tad from the soot. The complexity of that 30-year-old is just through the roof. I mean, 25-year-old, 30-year-old, you definitely get that wood smoke and peat quite prominent comparatively. I'm talking comparatively. I mean, you know, compared to younger Islay whiskies, I'm not getting much peat out of that compared, but for the two, chalk and cheese. The 5 years difference is massive. Wow. Let's get tasting. I'm actually going to taste the 30-year-old first because I've got a feeling that if I go back to the 30 from the 25, I might just drown that flavor profile. So let's go to the 30 first. I'm definitely getting the peat now on the palate. Wow, the complexity is astonishing. I'm getting the peat, but faint. I'm getting the rubber, the quintessential Islay rubber, faint. Exceptionally saline. Exceptionally saline. Wow. I'm getting condensed plum jam, berry jam, and a cereal note. I'm getting a strange cereal note, almost like a sourdough or bread. A little bit pungent, but quite mellow. That is an exceptional dram. Holy moly. I'm getting mineral, slight spice, can't put my finger on it. I'd say a black pepper spice, just a faint black pepper spice. It's a little meaty. A little meaty. If I had to choose kind of meat, I'd say a medium rare steak, as well as a salami. A good old fatty salami, that one. Wow. Oh wow, that is an exceptional treat. That is an exceptional treat. And what percentage is that? Let's have a look. That is a 53.2%. 53.2%. The 25-year-old is a 53.3%. So it's pretty much the same ABV. That's crazy because the fact that it's 5 years older, technically it should be quite different, but no. This here held its own for quite a bit longer. Let's try the 25-year-old. Man, the peat is so much more prominent on this thing here. This thing, the 25-year-old, the peat is so much more prominent. It really pops. I'm getting brown sugar syrup. I'm getting a brown sugar syrup. I'm getting sage. I'm getting a burnt butter sage glaze out of this one. It's creamy, slightly nutty, but the peat is a lot more prominent. I mean, these two, the peat is so much more prominent on the 25. A lot fresher rubber comparatively, but comparing to a younger Islay, definitely much more mellow. I'm getting a faint waft of a beach bonfire going on where you're putting some seaweed in there and some salty wood. I'm also getting a slight meatiness to this, but more of a bacon than salami. Something a little bit more vibrant in smoke. Bacon fat. And a hint of hazelnut. That's a nut that I'm thinking of. Hazelnut. A freshly roasted hazelnut. I'm getting a stony taste to it as well, slightly earthy, licorice, definitely aniseed, licorice and aniseed, like a sambuca. Oh, wow. The difference in the two is just phenomenally, it's just so far apart. It's just so far apart. Wow. Wow. In conclusion, I can't pick what I like more. When we had the tasting, I actually picked the 25, but I also think that's because this was the two last sets that we had, and one of the last ones, and the 25 popped out at me more. The 30 is uber complex. The depth of flavor is just much more complex, but very, very mellow. The 25, look, it's also very complex. The finish in both is both pretty strong, pretty robust, but the 25 definitely is much more quote-unquote Isla. Okay, it's much more Isla. The 30, you could mistake it for something else, but yeah, just absolutely insanity. Absolute insanity. Shit, it is absolutely gorgeous. What I would pair with these two, well, I personally paired something quite premium with it. I paired a Cohiba Talisman on the tasting night with these two because, look, it's not every day that you get to buy the Old and Rare Platinum Collection, you know, let alone a 25-year-old and a 30-year-old in one night. So, look, I would say if you're going to pair this, go all out, go full luxury, and pair it with some luxurious cigars just because of the sentiment of it. I mean, I like doing that. I don't know if you do, but I love doing that. If I had to pick which one I like better, man, I can't pick it. I don't believe water will benefit them. If I had to pick one, just to pick one, you know what? I've changed my mind. I would actually pick the 30. At first I picked the 25, but I would actually just by a margin the 30, just because it is not your typical Isla, and it is just such a crazy experience. It's just such a different Isla experience. Thank you very much for joining me today. Have you had these two? If so, let me know. I'll put the year, the bottling date, and all of the details down below for you to have a look. And hopefully I can bounce some ideas with some people to see if you've had them before and what your thoughts on them are. Caol Ila is known as the gentleman's Isla because it's not in your face like a Lafroig. It's not in your face like a Ardbeg. So it's not, it's not meant to be super duper in your face peat. Until next time, make sure you eat, smoke, drink. See you again.